From Nawabzada to Maulana. According to Hamid Mir, this news was not a news for me. It was already speculated that the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, based in London, would in any case appoint Maulana Fazlur Rahman, the head of Pakistan Democratic Movement, the new opposition party's coalition. On the 3rd of October, when it was announced that Maulana Fazlur Rahman would be the head of the PDM, I remembered a meeting with the late Nawabzada Nasrullah Khan in Islamabad in October 2002, the subject of which was Maulana Fazlur Rahman. The PML-Q, formed by General Pervez Musharraf in the 2002 elections, failed to get a simple majority. Nawabzada rallied the Mutahida Majlis-e-Amal, a coalition of religious parties, including the Pakistan People's Party and the PLN, on a single platform and persuaded the anti-Musharraf parties that if Maulana Fazlur Rahman was made the prime ministerial candidate, an anti-Musharraf coalition government would be formed not only in the Federation but also in Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. Asif Ali Zardari was imprisoned in Adiola jail, Rawalpindi, but agreed to make Maulana Fazlur Rahman the Prime Minister. Ms. Benazir Bhutto, based in Dubai, could not be persuaded. Nawabzada Nasrullah Khan was telling me that if Maulana Fazlur Rahman became the Prime Minister, it would be possible for both Benazir Bhutto and Nawaz Sharif to return to Pakistan, and eventually we would expel General Pervez Musharraf as well. I asked very simply, Nawabzada Sahib, why some people call MMA a military alliance? Nawabzada Sahib said in a slightly bitter tone that when the PPP had to fight dictator General Zia-ul-Haq, then Begum Nusrat Bhutto Sahiba asked me to include Maulana Mufti Mahmood in the movement for restoration of democracy, and Maulana Sahib agreed, but he died on the 14th of October 1980. His successor, Maulana Fazlur Rahman, kept his father's promise, and when MRD was formed, he not only joined it but also endured the hardships of incarceration. Nawabzada said that when the IJI was formed in 1988, Maulana Fazlur Rahman was contacted but he refused. After becoming a part of MRD, groups were formed in Ulema-e-Islam. Now, if Maulana Fazlur Rahman has won a landslide victory in the 2002 elections, it is too unjust to call it the Mullah military alliance. Then Nawabzada Sahib started saying that when an alliance was formed against General Ayub Khan in the name of Pakistan Democratic Movement, he was made the head of an alliance for the first time. The Awami League was not part of this alliance. After some time, he made the Awami League, and the People's Party joined this alliance, and this alliance was named the Democratic Action Committee. The formation of this alliance was announced on the 8th of January 1969, and General Ayub Khan announced his resignation on the 25th of March 1969. Nawabzada Sahib was repeatedly saying that I played an important role in the downfall of Ayub, Yahya and Zia. Now I want to oust Musharraf and die, but for that it is necessary to make Maulana Fazlur Rahman the Prime Minister. Maulana Fazlur Rahman could not become the Prime Minister in 2002, and after some time, Nawabzada Nasrullah Khan passed away. It is a strange coincidence that when Nawabzada Sahib became the head of the alliance for the first time, its name was PDM, and when Maulana Fazlur Rahman became the head of a political alliance for the first time, its name is also PDM. Nawabzada Sahib had made General Ayub Khan unconscious by including Awami League and PPP in PDM. If Maulana Fazlur Rahman also wants the PDM to succeed, he will have to expand this alliance. Nawabzada Nasrullah Khan's coalition PDM had Jamaat-e-Islami, but Maulana Fazlur Rahman's current coalition PDM does not have Jamaat-e-Islami. Nawabzada Nasrullah Khan's struggle was against Ayub Khan, and Maulana Fazlur Rahman's struggle is against Imran Khan and his patrons. But when we look at the demands of Nawabzada Sahib's PDM and Maulana Sahib's PDM, the PDM of 1967 was also demanding new elections. The PDM of 2020 is also demanding new elections. The 1967 PDM was also demanding freedom of the media and the independence of the judiciary, and the 2020 PDM is making the same demands. There was a presidential system in 1967, and the then PDM was demanding a parliamentary system. Parliamentary democracy is in vogue in 2020, but today's PDM is warning that the presidential system will not be accepted. Isn't it necessary to think why the opposition of 2020 is making the same demands as the opposition of 1967? Are we going backwards instead of forwards? Let us disagree with Maulana Fazlur Rahman, but isn't it true that Imran Khan voted for him as Prime Minister in the National Assembly in 2002? You may call Maulana Fazlur Rahman a fundamentalist or an extremist, but when he first addressed the UN General Assembly in 1994, Imran Khan had not yet entered politics. We can disagree with Maulana Sahib on many issues, but we have to accept the fact that he took the path of ballot politics instead of bullet. He did not start the complaint of ballot box theft in 2018. He has been complaining since 1990. Maulana was put under a lot of pressure to give up the ballot and enforce Sharia in Pakistan through the bullet. When he refused, there had been repeated assassination attacks on him. The suicide attack in Quetta on the 23rd of October 2014 was so horrific that some people said that Maulana should quit politics. If Maulana had given up politics, it would have been called the success of the people of the bullet, but he did not give up the ballot. Walking on the path of the same ballot, he met Nawaz Sharif, who is chanting the slogan of honoring the vote. October has been very important in the life of Maulana Fazlur Rahman. When his independence march began in October last year, he was alone. The first meeting of the PDM this year will be held on the 11th of October in Quetta, and he will not be alone. The government has banned the broadcasting of Nawaz Sharif's speeches openly, and Maulana Fazlur Rahman's speeches have been banned unannounced. If Maulana succeeds in maintaining the PDM in this movement against sanctions, he would defeat today's Ayub Khan, otherwise the struggle would continue. Dear friends, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe now and share with your friends for more interesting stories and videos. Thank you.